Coming up, a major drug bust on a northern island. And lots of softball action taking place in Abaco this weekend. The Bahamas Tonight starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Charisma Robinson. It's always great to have you join us. Topping the news tonight, an international flight forced to make an emergency landing here in the capital as something was wrong on board. Jimmy Swain was at LPIA and provides the latest on that WestJet landing.
The crew of a WestJet flight were forced to make an emergency landing Sunday at the Lynden Pinling International Airport. Officer in charge of the airport police station, Assistant Superintendent of Police Dennis Dames, said the flight from Canada was forced to detour due to some concerns on board.
It landed safely. The aircraft were taken to the international terminal where all the passengers deplaned the aircraft. We took a statement from the captain who said that at about 15 minutes after 12, they observed some wheel well indication in the wheel well that caused them to declare an emergency.
That flight touched down minutes after 1 p.m. ASP Dame said there was no truth to reports that smoke was emanating from the cockpit. He insisted that a light indication alerted the captain that something was wrong.
The flight had 165 passengers and 7 crew. So we're talking about 172 souls. After they deplane everyone, so the persons can rest and get something to eat and tell it and check out everything. Have the maintenance people check the aircraft out thoroughly before they decide to leave Nassau.
He said emergency crews were alert.
Airport fire service was in place. If the indication were that there was something more severe, we would have fire services from Nassau coming as well, but that wasn't necessary.
As you can see behind me, the WestJet flight sits in a ready position on the runway. ASP Dame says officials have been given the all clear and can continue their intended route to the Dominican Republic. Jimmy Swain, ZNS Network News.
3 men are being questioned in connection with a major drug bust on an island in the north. It's the 5th to occur in several weeks, and it comes as authorities crack down on the illegal drug trade. Altavi's Munnings tells us about this latest drug seizure taking place on a tiny island.
The U.S. Coast Guard helicopter touched down at Odyssey Aviation at exactly 8 o'clock Saturday night with the goods Drug Enforcement Unit officers came to collect. Inside the U.S. chopper, about 8 crocus sacks of illegal drugs reportedly found on the island of Bimini around 8:30 Saturday morning. Officer in charge of the Drug Enforcement Unit, Superintendent Samuel Butler, told reporters that DEU and Bimini officers discovered the drugs on the northeastern shore of the island,
where they were able to arrest 3 Bahamian males, ages ranging from 40 to 19. 2 of them are resident of Bimini and 1 a resident of Grand Bahama. Along with the suspects, we were able to seize a number of suspected drug packages. They were all taken to the North Bimini police station, and we can say that we have some 500 pounds of marijuana along with the suspects in custody. The street value of those drugs is some $500,000.
Can you say if the suspects in Bimini were cooperative with police during their arrest?
Very cooperative, and that's why we say that we're optimistic that we will be able to follow through a court process.
And Superintendent Butler estimates the Bimini suspects, who arrived in New Providence Sunday morning, to appear in a magistrate's court no later than Tuesday of this week. The drug bust in Bimini coincides with another drug seizure made at the Freeport International Airport Saturday. The DEU chief confirmed that officers arrested a 25-year-old commercial airline pilot who was reportedly caught with 3 kilos of cocaine that has a street value of $75,000. It was nearly 2 weeks ago when police seized 2,300 pounds of marijuana with a $2.3 million street value from Farmers Key, Exuma. And don't forget that huge find of some 20,000 marijuana plants off Gladstone Road. Now, DEU officers credit their partnership with U.S. law enforcement and residents nationwide for their success.
Our intelligence network is very strong, and based on our intelligence network, the collaboration with various other organizations, our community is certainly helping us being very successful in drug interdiction.
Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Now, just hours after that drug bust in Bimini, authorities seized 118 pounds of marijuana in a sting operation off Clifton Pier. Police took 4 men into custody in connection with that incident. They are between the ages of 24 and 45 and are from Abaco, Andros, and New Providence. The drugs have a street value of $118,000. A busy weekend for police as they crack down on the illegal drug trade and investigate another homicide. Authorities are searching for the culprit believed to be responsible for a stabbing death. We're told that 2 men were involved in a fight at a bar in Gibbs Corner early Saturday morning, resulting in one of them being stabbed. The victim was taken to hospital where he died last night. Investigations continue. Still to come, thousands of young people taken to the streets today for the annual Youth March.